Good day, comrades, and I can definitely say that it is truly a good day. The sun is shining, the sky is blue, it's not windy, so I don't need to use external microphone, unlike it was the case in previous days. It was raining, storming, but let's forget about that. Like I promised you yesterday, we're gonna have a closer look at our new Toyota GT86, the 2017 facelifted model. So first let's start on the outside and check some changes in comparison with the pre-facelifted model, and there are some, nothing major. So of course mandatory changed bumpers, probably a bit more aerodynamic. Well, this is something you can only verify in the wind tunnel, obviously. The most noticeable change is over here. On the previous model, you had the logo of the GT86. This is right now, sadly gone. And well, I don't know. I mean, you can have a clean look, a clean car without any badges, but maybe some other people do appreciate this significant logo with two pistons and an 86 in the middle. Another most noticeable change that I do truly appreciate are the wheels, because to be honest, on the pre-facelifted model, the wheels looked kinda cheap, really cheap, and this looks a lot better. The brakes and the suspension, I believe, are the same, so nothing big there. On the rear, of course, facelifted, or should I say rear lifted tail lights look a lot better. Still same styling underneath, two big exhausts to make the car appear a lot more sporty. And this is, by the way, the 86 logo, the famous 86 logo that I was talking about. By the way, check out our personalized license plate with 86 on it. But that's pretty much it on the outside. And the most interesting features, what I think, can be found on the inside. By the way, we're gonna put a bigger wing on it because the car screams for a bigger wing. But let's look on the inside. First of all, the car, like the previous model, has a keyless entry. So once I not even touch, yeah, well, slightly touch, but then it unlocks itself and we can have a look on the inside. Well, maybe I should probably turn around the car so the sun will be shining on the dashboard. So let me quickly do that. Yep, this is a lot better. So let me walk you through the changes on this car. So first of all, we can find the difference in the traction control. You have here special track mode that apparently also changed the differential settings and, well, does not make the traction control too aggressive. Or you can alternatively go for a fully off traction control, but with the narrow tires, stock size tires that the car has, it's a very ballsy move, especially if you're gonna take the car out on the Nürburgring, which is the purpose of this particular car. Moving on to the steering wheel, it has, well, the volume control and scanning the radio or moving to the next track. You can switch the modes from a radio mode, Bluetooth, or connect your phone. And here is the most interesting feature that I will come back to once we turn on the car. Here, nothing crazy, nothing special, just a timer that we can actually even find on older Subaru or JDM cars. Well, for example, there we have a nice GC8 Subaru, and I had one of those as one of my first cars, and I remember it had a very simple timer. Let me quickly turn on the ignition so you see what I mean. Here you see. I think pretty much every Japanese car has it. Then let's quickly look at the screen. Once it turns on, maybe I should, oh, there you go. So this is the radio setting, nothing special. It's by the way touch screen, but the previous model also had a touch screen, which is nice. We can check out the setup settings. You can change all kinds of things. Not really responsive here. Day mode, night mode, contrast, general settings, language. You can change the distance units from kilometers to miles. Yeah, and just the basic stuff. And then it has the GPS. We are right now on the Nürburgring, or actually about 50 meters off it. Yeah, there is nothing bad to be said about this system. It's responsive, you have GPS, you can connect your phone, you can change various settings. And, well, the main purpose of this car is track. I mean, go on the track. So let's even forget about this. But now move on to my most favorite part, is once we turn on the ignition, we will be greeted by additional little screen as the major change in comparison with the pre-facelifted model. Right now it shows the G-force meter, also how much accelerator or brake you apply, also the position of the steering wheel. Here I'm turning it slightly to the left, but I should turn on the car to show it to you completely, and also the maximum achieved G-forces and lateral G-forces, which is a nice gimmick. And I would love if the car would have actually a data logging feature, so you could actually plug your laptop and see what to read those data afterwards, after driving. But I don't think this car has this feature, at least I couldn't find it. Maybe later. Then we can browse through additional settings, and this is, for example, how much horsepower you apply, something you probably know from a Bugatti display, that it shows how much horsepower you're applying. It's a real gimmick, to be honest. It's fun to show, but yeah, I don't see much of use why you would actually want to use it. Lap timer, of course. I think it is GPS measured. I need to find out soon, but from tomorrow on the Nürburgring will be open, so we will be able to find out whether, how it works, because I'm not gonna see how it works in the public streets. You can, start, and then you start, and then you can like reset lap time, or you get the idea. You have many functions on that regard. Let's move on to something else. Go back from lap timer. Again, the GPS meter, but this one is empty, so I presume you can have two different ones for comparison reasons. Then if we go to the right, you can change stuff, like you can turn on the welcome or turn off the welcome screen. This is really something that I do like. You can turn on the rev limiter buzzer, so it will buzz that you need to shift up, and you have the rev light, which you can see right now over here. It will turn on, it will beep. So whether you want it or not, you can change it to different RPMs, like 5,900. I'll leave it at 6,000. It's nice at this point. Yeah, you can change the language. That speaks for itself. Let's leave it on English. Then some messages, I presume warning messages if your brake pads are gone, if your tire pressure is too low, that kind of stuff, you know that. Then the most common display that you have on pretty much every car: the temperature, the oil temperature, the coolant temperature, and the battery power. And let's see if we can browse through that. Yeah, the average fuel consumption, the drive time, the total mileage, again, the fuel consumption, and going back to the same screen where we started at. This is, I guess, pretty much it on the interior. What else can I say? The car is equipped with very, very comfortable and, most important, functional bucket seats. I really like the way they hold me. I'm a middle-sized person. I would say I'm 1.85 centimeters tall. Waist size, to be honest, I don't know, but I'm not too skinny and not too fat, so I do really enjoy them. For the track purpose, they are superb, amazing. That's something that we would need to find out, but by doing some high corner speeds on the streets where it was safe enough to do it, I can say that they provide enough supports. This particular car is equipped with optional Alcantara finishes. Whether you actually need that's a good question, but it's a nice feature. We didn't choose it, we just went to the dealership, if you watched when we purchased the car, so it wasn't something we really wanted. It was just already installed on the car, so we got it as it is. Other than that, 6-speed gearbox, seat heating, very functional. Then you have here, you can put some stuff or drinks, additional cup holder over here in the door. The electric windows, they don't work now because I've turned off the ignition, but in case you really want to see how the windows go up and down in this Toyota, here you go. And then the final thing that, of course, which is mandatory probably to show, it's the engine. Let's have a look there. And to be honest, me personally, I'm very familiar with the car, but I'm pretty sure that my average audience on my channel also already knows that this car is equipped with 4-cylinder 2-liter boxer engine with 200 horsepower. D4S boxer of Subaru. Wait, that was a Toyota, right? But I guess I don't need to explain you the reason why it's Subaru, because there's also Subaru BRZ, and so on and so on and so on. But yeah, 200 horsepower, and I must say, I'll be honest with you, when this car was released, and without driving it, but when it was just released, many people complained, including me, without driving this car, that 200 horsepower is not enough. Depends how you look at it, because if you want to go cruising on autobahn, then probably you should take something like this, of course, with 800 horsepower or 600 plus, or maybe even 700, because Rentec constantly changes the values on those cars by doing testing. But you get the idea. Then it's completely different story. But what most of the people always were doing is comparing it also with older models like GC8 Subaru, where this car in stock has, I believe, 220 horsepower up to 280, depending on the model that you have. And in that case, of course, it's not sufficient if you want to go autobahn cruising. But if you drive this baby on the Nürburgring, then it's more than enough. The most important thing, and that's also the reason why this car has won multiple awards for being the best sports car of the year from multiple media, is because the way it handles. And my god, it just handles amazing. It's well, I'll be cliche here, but this is something you just need to try out yourself. And guess what? This car is for rent to drive on the Nürburgring, so feel free to do so, because damn, this car really, it's undescribable. The way that it is, the way that it handles from in its factory form. You can see some nice suspension over here. So yes, of course, the manufacturers Toyota, Subaru, and well, when Scion was still existing, could have chosen to put a turbo on it, but that would raise the purchase price significantly, probably by 10 or more thousand euros, which would put this car in a completely different class and make it less affordable, and probably it would have to compete with other cars of similar amount of horsepower or even more, which would then again be criticized that it would be too expensive for what it is. And again, I'm pretty sure that the marketing and R&D development team of Toyota and Subaru were smart enough to say, you know what, average customer gonna buy this car, he's not gonna leave it stock. And for a person who's gonna buy 300 horsepower sports car to drive it on the track, he would even say, nah, 300 horsepower is not enough, so you're gonna upgrade it in the future anyway. And as of today, after I believe for 5 years that the car is on the market, you have multiple turbo supercharger upgrades and so on and so on and so on. So if you're really buying this car for the horsepower, you probably won't, but there are plenty of upgrades that you can do to it. But most importantly is the handling. Well, that's enough talking, I guess, about the car. Let me quickly tell you what we're gonna do to this car. First of all, like I already told you, a bigger spoiler on the back, and we are actually thinking of getting DRS. DRS, that means active aerodynamics, so maybe it will have, like, you know, do I need to refer to active aerodynamics of Lamborghini? Yeah. Well, so that means that on the straight the spoiler will be flat, but once you start braking it will move up a bit, so you have extra stability and downforce in the corners. Now, another upgrades that we're gonna do next week, we will be installing very state-of-the-art suspension, also different wheels, wider wheels with semi-slick tires, big brake kit on the front. The car will be wrapped, but it's not really a performance upgrade, but I do really need to tell you before you're gonna ask me if we're gonna change something to it. And I hope that those guys are not too annoying with their construction works. On the inside, although I already did praise those seats, we do gonna put bucket seats in it, and well, race harnesses, and also a roll cage. Other than that, performance wise, complete exhaust system, that means from the manifold up until the rear part, and an ECU upgrade with some very cool features. Not only horsepower and the torque will go up, but most importantly it will have auto blip. That means that once you go downshifting, the car will rev match itself, and well, probably some other cool things that you will see once we get it done. And the idea is to have it done by the next week, but in reality, I'm afraid we will have some trouble. But yeah, enough talking about the car. I would really like to take you for a test drive, but really, you can only do this car right by test driving it on a track. And the track opens tomorrow. And although we will not be test driving it tomorrow, because as a matter of fact, the car is already rented out for tomorrow. So the first customer is gonna drive it in its nearly stock form. But that's it for now. Let's go check out what's happening at Apex. It's slightly harder to get out the GT86 than it is the case with the Up. But let's have a look what's happening. I can see already some steel beams are here. Well, the full construction progress going on at the barn. The wall getting torn down here as well. So right now they're throwing all the old rubbish into what used to be the basement to fill it up and then fill it with concrete. And lots of plastering work is being done inside, namely to even out the wall surfaces. I'm actually on the first floor or the second floor, depends which language or country you're referring to. The floor above, the ground floor, because I want to show you the difference. On this floor they haven't started the plastering work, so this is how it looks like, not really even. And here, for example, in my room, you can see that those walls that were made are still consist of the panels. You can clearly see that, but let's have a look on the ground floor and you will see what I mean. So a very good example is already the hallway. It looks very nice and even. And again, the perfect example of the walls. It's now a complete flat surface. Very cool, very cool. Love to see this progress. And while I was at Apex, I quickly stopped by at Transferring to say hi. We can see that the preparations are going in full speed here, especially since the track will be open suddenly tomorrow instead of next week for the first time. And also, I promised to visit Philip, you know, the guy with the orange BMW, because he opened up his new workshop. So let's have a quick look around the back of Transferring and see what's cooking. Well, that man over here has been inviting me over already for a couple of days to show his new amazing spot at the backside of Transferring. And you know him from a couple of vlogs ago when there was a nice BMW weather. Is this a BMW weather now?
It's track record weather, but no proper BMW weather.
651 record or 650?
652.1, I think.
Okay. Yeah, well, but anyway, this amazing car, check out the vlog called, I don't know how it's called, I don't remember. Something.
Should we tune the Up?
Should we tune the Up? Yeah, should we upgrade the Up, I think. Yeah, so check it out, and we were doing something there in the video with that car. But anyway, going back to the workshop, we've seen this car already for a short amount of time in one of the previous vlogs. What's happening here? What's this?
That's a customer's car.
Okay. And well, it's obviously E92 M3 and with some upgrades on the inside as well. Recaros, cage, something under the hood or just stockish? Stock. Yeah, they're already, I mean, if you're gonna complain that 420 horsepower is not enough for the Nürburgring, then I think you're a shitty driver and just need to compensate. Again, the amazing M5, V8, E39. But yeah, forget about the cars, there'll be plenty of them. Let's have a quick look at the workshop. What I like the most is, well, obviously he has a lot of oil in stock, and he told me that you ordered how much? 5,000 liters? Yeah,
getting another big amount of oil, so I can satisfy every customer with brand new fresh oil.
Yeah, and so just in case if you don't know, it's like pretty much walking distance from the track to your workshop. So in case you need, God forbid, you need something, but if you need something, you know that you can at least do an oil change here, or what I like really, which is like a real workshop porn. Someone is really autistic here. Screws and everything, bolts, nuts, and the fuses, yes. I had the Dutch word in my head, or the Russian, but not the English. Thank you for correcting me. But yeah, very cool. There's some workshop area, maintenance area.
Yeah, a bit of chill out area.
Casting couch, mandatory. So in case you cannot pay, or well, if you don't have the money to make a project car, I'm pretty sure there is always a way around Nürburgring.
We'll find a solution.
Find a solution somehow. I wonder if Suzanne will like this. You know, just one more place in case you, again, God forbid, may happen to your car, or just you need a quick change or fix. You're open every day?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Just behind rent for rain. But now I'm gonna go back and do stuff. Thanks a lot for the visit.
Thank you.
And see you soon.
See you next time.
See you next time. Ooh. Yeah, the Subaru Rumble. Goosebumps. Yeah, gonna go to REM to check things out there and then go to Ventisetto for dinner. So yeah, the vlog and the day is coming pretty much to the end. But fully JDM gang today. The GC8 and the GT86 right into the sunset. If that would have been fully JDM, would be right into the sunrise, because Japan is the country of the rising sun. Guess who's faster? Not him. Whoa. Upgrades. Nice. And another upgrade can be found here, because I brought Daniel a little surprise, like you seen it in yesterday's vlog. The shifter, which will go on this car, but this is probably something for another time or vlog. But we are going to do, what should I say, test drive. We're gonna go for a lap tomorrow during the first TF. So lots of laps is coming tomorrow. And then suddenly more guests have arrived. Woo. So we're filming each other. Nice to meet you finally. Hello. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed my review of the GT86 and all the other content that you've seen today. See you guys tomorrow at the first public open day of TF or Tourist Far in Nürburgring. And well, subscribe, like and share, but first, food vlog.
Du kannst an jedem Stand gehen, egal ob Ruf, egal ob was weiß ich.